Now, you do not have to look like a millionaire in order to look good. I just want to put that out there. But at times, you may want to have more of a high-end look, and if so, there is nothing wrong with that. One good thing about fashion is that you can look good and stylish at any price point. Now, I love fashion, I like clothes, but I do not like paying a lot of money for my stuff, and I rarely spend full price for anything, and you don't have to either. So if you want to look more chic or polished without breaking the bank, here are a few tips to help you pull off an expensive look on a small budget. But before we get into the tips, if you are new here, do consider subscribing. I hit my first milestone of 1,000 subscribers about 6 or 8 weeks ago. Now I'm going for my next milestone, 10,000 subscribers. So if you like personal finance content and you want to see more videos like this, hit the subscribe button so you can receive more tips on how to live a more frugal life and how to improve your overall financial picture. The first tip for having a more expensive look is to stock up on neutrals. Now, I have nothing against bright or vibrant colors. These colors can be very fun. They can really bring out your personality, but there is something about neutrals, and I can't put my finger on it, but those colors will add a touch of sophistication and chicness and really elevate your outfit. The colors are so simple, yet they work. And when we talk about neutrals, we're talking about black, white, gray, camel, beige, any colors that fall in this family. And one good thing about neutrals is that these colors, they go with everything. So you could stock up your wardrobe, buy a lot of clothes in these families, and then you can mix and match. I mean, you could literally have 5 neutral pieces of clothing in your wardrobe and come up with about 10 or more different outfits. And one of the best things about being able to mix and match is that it can give the illusion of having a much bigger wardrobe than you actually do. Another trick to have a high-end look is to really go with a pointy toe shoe, and this applies whether you're wearing flats or pumps. Now, I have nothing against round toe shoes. I have several of these in my collection, but when I'm planning my outfits and I have a round toe shoe up against a pointy toe shoe, there is no comparison. There is something about a pointy toe that will make an outfit just look more together and more polished. I mean, seriously, if you had to choose between this shoe and this shoe, which one would you pick? Or what if you had to choose between this shoe and this shoe? Now, no offense to the round toe, but seriously, the pointy toe, it wins every single time. Now, understandably, I know some people do prefer a rounder toe because these shoes tend to have more room in the toe area, which makes them more comfortable. But don't completely discount pointy toe shoes altogether. Chances are you just have not found the right shoe or the right brand for you. And one thing you can do to make these shoes a little bit more comfortable is sometimes you can even go up a half size. This is something that I do often, and I don't have a large gap in the back. Another thing you can do is also go with a wider width, because this will usually give you more room in the shoe, which makes it a little more comfortable. It's also important that you wear a good bra, or at the very least a newer bra, because as bras get older, a lot of times they will start to have this line that comes across your chest area. And if you are wearing an older bra with a cheaper shirt, I mean, the material is probably going to be a lot thinner and a lot flimsier. And when you want to have more of a high-end look, it's so important that you have a smooth silhouette. So you really want everything to just be smooth and crisp, and by doing so, it's going to automatically give you a higher end look, even if you paid much of nothing for your shirts. Another tip is to know what to invest in, and one art of looking more expensive on a budget is maybe mixing in a few designer pieces, or maybe some pieces that are a little bit more expensive, because even when you're wearing a relatively inexpensive outfit, you may have paid maybe $60 for your shirt and your jeans combined. By adding a little designer piece, maybe a handbag, or maybe some stylish glasses, or maybe a leather jacket, I mean, those touches can really elevate the outfit, where it will look as if you spent a bundle on everything when you really didn't. And when it comes to these more expensive statement pieces, you want something that you can rock over and over again. You want it to be versatile. That way you can wear it maybe if you're going to the beach, or if you're going out for a night with your friends. It's also important that you pay attention to grooming, and this is so essential essential, because if your hair isn't done, or if you have chipped nail polish, or if everything just looks unkept, you're not going to have a high-end look. It does not matter how much you pay for your clothes. And this does not mean going out and spending big bucks on expensive beauty treatments. You do not have to do that. There are many items that you can buy for much of nothing and use at home that can help you to have a more polished look. It's nice to get your eyebrows waxed, but if you're in between appointments, or if you just get busy, I mean, one thing you can do is invest in one of these little eyebrow razors. I mean, you can get these for like $1 at the beauty supply store. Super cheap, super easy to use. I mean, you can use it to clean up your eyebrows, clean up your sideburns. I mean, take care of the peach fuzz around your upper lip. Or you can go a step further and invest in one of these little tools, which is basically the same thing. The only difference is that it's battery operated, but I mean, same concept, same ideal. You can use it to clean up your eyebrows, clean up the peach fuzz. And when it comes to grooming, ladies, it is so important to always shave underneath your arms, because if you are wearing a sleeveless shirt and you have a forest going on, I mean, that is the fastest way to kill a high-end look. And while we're talking about this part of the body, another thing you might have to do is invest in some armpit shields. And I know that just saying that word probably kills all classiness, but this is so important, especially if you have hyperhidrosis like myself. Pit stains, there is nothing cute about them. And one thing that I do is wear these little pads. Don't laugh. I purchased a pack of these little pads from eBay, and they really do work like a charm. They have a little adhesive on here, and basically you just tear it off, and you take these little things and you kind of put them in the inside of your jacket or in the inside of a long sleeve shirt, and it really helps to absorb all that moisture. It is so important if you have a problem with excessive sweating, because you can have this fabulous outfit on, but if you have sweat rings, I mean, that's not a good look. That is not cute at all. So if you have a problem, definitely invest in some of these. You will be glad that you did. It's also important that you buy clothes that fit your body and your shape. And this is so important, because if you wear clothes that are too big or too baggy, it can actually give off a frumpy look, which is the complete opposite of the vibe that you're trying to put out there. So you want to establish a relationship with a good tailor, and this is especially important if you lose weight, or maybe you buy some clothes that are slightly too big. I've gotten several pieces altered, and one good thing about alterations is that they are relatively inexpensive, especially if you're only going down maybe 1 or 2 sizes. Now, of course, this tip doesn't mean that everything you wear has to fit you like a glove. You can definitely rock some baggier pieces. However, there is a wrong and a right way to do this. So if you're wearing a baggy shirt, you want to pair that with a fitted pant, and if you're wearing baggy pants, you want to wear a fitted shirt. It's also important that you take care of your clothes. And now that I think about this, this tip probably should have been higher on the list, because when you are buying cheaper clothes, the material, it's not as durable as some of the more expensive garments. So the more you wash these clothes, the more the fabric is going to break down, and the colors are also going to fade a little faster. The number one thing you want to do when you're buying cheaper clothes is you want to wash your clothes less. And I know this may sound like a little weird, like why would I wear dirty clothes? But a lot of times your clothes, they're not as dirty as you think, especially if maybe you throw on something to go and hang out with your friends and it's only for like 2 or 3 hours, and you come home and you take it off. Most of the time, the clothes are not going to have a scent, and you can get several wears before you actually have to wash them. This is a mistake I made years ago. I used to always wash my clothes after every time I wore them, and it didn't matter if I wore them for 1 hour or I wore them for 5 hours, and then I used to wonder why my clothes look the way they do. And once I kind of backed off on the washing, a lot of my fabrics were able to last a lot longer. So definitely give it a try. And if you're concerned about odors or maybe a staleness, there are a few tricks that you can do to freshen up your clothes in between washes. Now, one item I live by is my Febreze fabric to go. Now, I have to say, if you have clothes that you have worn several times and they're starting to get a little musty, this is not going to do anything. You have to wash those. But if it's an outfit and maybe it has some lingering food smells because maybe you went to a restaurant, I mean, you just give this a little spurt and it will actually take care of the odors. And one thing I love about this is that it actually lives up to the hype on the commercials. It does not mask the odors. It actually eliminates them. So by using this on your clothes, you can prevent all that extra washing and really help your fabrics to last a lot longer. And another thing you can do if you have some clothes you want to freshen up is put those clothes in a Ziploc bag and place it in the freezer freezer for a few hours. And this works because exposure to the coldness, it will kill the bacteria, which will eliminate any odors. And when keeping your clothes in good condition, it is also so important that you read the care instructions that are located on the tag of every garment, because it's going to tell you the best way to clean the clothes in order for them to last a lot longer. It's also important to keep in mind that wrinkles can also make you look unkept, and it doesn't matter how much you pay for a piece of clothing. If it is riddled with wrinkles, I mean, it's going to look like a hot mess. So definitely invest in an iron, a steamer, preferably a steamer, because steamers, they are a little bit more gentler on the fabric, so they're not going to wear as fast. And another tip to keep your cheap clothes looking a little bit more high end longer is to use a razor. Now, if you have cheaper fabrics, you know how over time, especially with repeated washing, you get these little lint balls that kind of pop up on the fabric. But one thing you can do is take your razor and gently glide over the fabric, and what this will do is get rid of those little lint balls, and it will help your material last longer and look newer for a longer period of time. It's also important that you add accessories to your outfits, and this is a key tip because accessories can really change your entire look. You can have an outfit that looks very boring and bland. You throw on some earrings, a necklace, a watch, a bracelet, and automatically you look a little bit more stylish, and it really elevates your entire look. But there is a wrong and a right way to accessorize, and when it comes to wearing accessories, less is really more. And if you don't believe me, thumb through any fashion magazine, you will see these models wearing a lot of high-end fashion, but if you notice their jewelry, it is so simple. They may have like a little basic necklace, some earrings, maybe a couple of bracelets, and that's it. They have the right balance, and that is so important because when you get into a routine of over accessorizing and just wearing too much, it can really cheapen your outfit. So definitely go easy in this area because simplicity is better. And when it comes to accessories, again, you do not have to spend a lot of money. However, if you wear a lot of costume jewelry, you know that it doesn't last long. I mean, you got maybe 6 months before things start to turn, depending on how often you wear it. One thing you can do is store your jewelry in a plastic bag, preferably a bag designed for jewelry. This way it will keep air out and prevent the pieces from turning colors. Or another trick is to spray your jewelry with a clear gloss, and what this does is coat the jewelry, which can also protect it from changing colors. So there you have it. Those are my tips on different ways to look stylish and more expensive on a budget. I really hoped you enjoyed this video, and if you did, please give me a thumbs up, and also comment below and let us know which tip you like the most, or maybe any other tips and tricks that you use in order to achieve a more higher end look. My channel is all about personal finance, where we talk about how you can live a more frugal life and improve your entire financial picture. So if you like videos like this and you want to see more, please hit that subscribe button below. I post every weekend and sometimes during the week. So thank you again for watching, and I will see you in a few days.